Jordan Pickford has withdrawn from England's crucial World Cup qualifier against Norway, citing a shoulder problem. And sources inside the camp insist nobody believes a word of it. This wasn't just a routine injury bulletin. This wasn't a precautionary rest. This wasn't the FA managing workload ahead of a tournament. This is serious. Nothing like this has ever been seen days before a World Cup qualifier that could determine England's entire path to the tournament. And there's a detail the FA still hasn't confirmed publicly. According to reports circulating, Pickford showed zero visible discomfort during handling drills the afternoon before he pulled out. And the worst still hasn't come out. Over the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly what happened behind closed doors at St. George's Park and why this turns England's World Cup campaign upside down. When your first-choice goalkeeper, a player with over 70 caps, England's penalty shootout hero in multiple tournaments, walks away days before a must-win qualifier, it's not just any problem. This is bigger than anyone expected. Dean Henderson is now facing Norway, and Erling Haaland in a competitive debut he never saw coming. Thomas Tuchel is staring down a crisis of authority, and behind the scenes, sources close to the squad insist it's worse than it looks. Here's what happened. During Wednesday's final training session at St. George's Park, Jordan Pickford allegedly completed the first 20 minutes of routine distribution work without incident. Midway through a small-sided game, according to someone present on the sidelines, he waved toward the medical team and walked off the pitch. He didn't hold his shoulder. He didn't stretch. He didn't grimace. He simply left. In the tunnel, Pickford reportedly spoke briefly with Thomas Tuchel before heading to the treatment room. 20 minutes later, the manager gathered the squad indoors and announced the change in a tone described as businesslike, almost cold. Several players allegedly exchanged glances but said nothing. Dean Henderson, who had been training with the reserves, was summoned to the main group. The silence in the room was reportedly uncomfortable. Nobody asked questions. But to understand why this matters, you need to know what came before. Jordan Pickford has been England's undisputed number one since the 2018 World Cup, but sources claim he's noticed a shift in Thomas Tuchel's language. In recent press conferences, Tuchel described Dean Henderson as absolutely ready, and James Trafford as a real option. Pickford was allegedly frustrated when Tuchel rotated him out for a friendly against Belgium in March, perceiving it as the beginning of a transition. Meanwhile, Dean Henderson has been in excellent form at Crystal Palace and has reportedly been told by members of Tuchel's inner circle that the door is open. And hold on, because the most controversial detail I've saved for the end. According to what's being said behind the scenes, Jordan Pickford allegedly did not speak to Dean Henderson before leaving camp. That detail has not been confirmed by the FA, but sources insist it happened. Inside the dressing room, opinion is reportedly split. Senior players like Harry Kane and Declan Rice are said to be privately concerned about the message it sends. Younger squad members are reluctant to speak against a veteran. The coaching staff, according to sources, are quietly furious but maintaining discipline publicly. The FA has offered no comment beyond the injury bulletin. On social media, fans have divided sharply. Some defend Jordan Pickford's right to prioritize health. Others accuse him of abandoning the team at the worst possible moment. Pundits have begun questioning whether Thomas Tuchel has lost control before the tournament even begins. And here's where things become even more complicated. Dean Henderson will likely start against Norway, marking his first competitive qualifier start. If England lose or concede early, scrutiny on both Pickford and Tuchel will intensify. The squad must submit a final 23-man roster to FIFA within 72 hours of the match, meaning Jordan Pickford's status will be reassessed immediately. If he returns for the following game without clear medical documentation, the controversy will explode. Now Thomas Tuchel is caught between two bad decisions. If he backs Jordan Pickford publicly and the injury proves minor or non-existent, he looks weak and sets a dangerous precedent for player power. But if he challenges Pickford openly and the injury is legitimate, He risks alienating his most experienced goalkeeper days before a World Cup and fracturing squad morale. Either way, England face Norway with an untested keeper thrust into a high-stakes scenario nobody planned for. This is the kind of moment that defines tournaments before they even begin. The timing is catastrophic. The doubt is everywhere. And the damage, too, squad unity might already be done. And look, this is far from over. This is the information circulating so far. Over the next few hours, new details should trickle out, and they could turn this whole story upside down. Sources suggest video footage from the training session exists that could clarify whether Jordan Pickford showed discomfort. So for you, should Thomas Tuchel have forced Jordan Pickford to stay, or was the goalkeeper right to prioritize his fitness? Let us know in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss the next major development, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because when this fully breaks, you'll want to be the first to know, not the last.